thank you for being here. I'm going to be telling you stories about the Kenya that you don't know. I'm going to create a whole series of stories that are going on out there, stories that don't get to be heard by many people, or in most cases, these people don't get justice because there's so much corruption and nobody gets to get any justice. Okay, so there's been these cases of women being found mutilated and put in sacks and thrown in the Mukuru quarry. And the weirdest thing is that most of these people are women. Actually, if not all of them are women. And I've been following up in so many other ways to see what's going on, and I've gotten to hear so many stories about women being killed and also children. So the reason why I'm doing this series is because I want to talk about things that are affecting mostly the women and children out there. And especially when it comes to children, guys, it gets to be our business. Children need justice, and also now we have women dying every day. Hundreds of women are being slaughtered, unsuspecting women are being slaughtered for a lot of other reasons. So we're gonna talk about a situation that happened. And this I watched on Cinedev show. Cinedev is on YouTube. So if you have time, please go to YouTube, look up Cinedev and subscribe to his channel, follow some of his stories. This one really shocked me. So what happened is, like a couple of days ago, maybe last week, there was they went to, the usual. They go out in the streets, look for people, talk to people, do loyalty tests. So they were somewhere, and I think it was at the river or something like that. It was like a place where couples go and have picnics, or people just come to see the river and stuff, because there was a place with like a rapid kind of situation, like it goes, it's nice to watch. But they saw this couple that had parked their car backed up right on the riverbank, and they were in front of the car kissing and blah blah blah. So these guys came because they wanted to talk to this couple and maybe do a loyalty test. So of course they talked to this couple, and then they agreed to a loyalty test and decided doing a loyalty test. So the lady in this case was called Lynette. The guy was called John. So John and Lynette were here as couples, and when they did the loyalty test, they found out that John is actually cheating with Lynette's best friend. So now, when this happened, Lynette was so upset that she was like, okay, you have put up with your shenanigans and you're going to cheat on me with my best friend. I'm going to say the reason why we're here. And then Senior Dev was like, okay, why are you here? This woman started talking, a woman's con started talking and saying things like, we are not here for a picnic. Oh no, we are here for a whole other thing completely. This man does business with the lecturer. So apparently this girl is from a certain college, which honestly is not it's one of those colleges that you should be very scared and aware of. And there's a lecturer there that does business with this guy, John. Now, they talked about a few weeks before, they had come over there and dumped a body of a lady called Shiro. The same way, they came, back the car up, and then just pushed the body down into the river. So this time around, they had another lady in the car called Canadian or something. So these two people, the lady started talking, saying, okay, we are here to dump bodies. Look in the car, you'll see there's actually a girl in this car, there's somebody in this car. And then Senior Dev and his guys were like, oh my God, what? So they go, they open the trunk of this car. Sure enough, there's a woman who's blacked out in there. She's unresponsive. She's just laying there. And after inspecting, they found out that this woman is still breathing. She's alive. She's not dead yet. So they were so shocked. They panicked, and also they started, they were so shocked. They took this John and Lynette, put them in the car and be like, you guys are here to commit murder. You guys are murdering innocent women, blah, blah, blah. And so they took this girl to the hospital and detained Lynette and John because they wanted to know what's going on. So they wanted the truth. Hey, and that's where it started unraveling. Now, here's what happens, according to these two. John works for a certain lecturer called Lek Masharia. Lek Masharia gets to sleep with girls in college. After sleeping with them, he passes them on to his friends. After passing them on, they drag these girls. After dragging them, he goes on and leaves these girls in the car and parks his car at school. So when it's time for disposal, he calls John and lets John know that I have something in the car for you. I have a package in the car. Come and get the car. So John comes. He normally leaves the key in that Pro Box car, and then John comes, gets the car, drives off, and goes to that particular place where he disposes of the body. But something else happens. These bodies are always disposed of after. They've already gone through another process where after they drug these women are taken to some quack doctor, and this quack doctor is called Dr. Kinyua. Apparently, Dr. Kinyua is a level 5 doctor, and he also has a clinic in Thika. So Dr. Kinyua, and the weirdest thing, Dr. Kinyua has an Aluo accent. I don't know how that's happening. So Dr. Kinyua basically uses crude stuff like knives, wembe, to illegally perform mutilations. He cuts these women open, gets kidneys, gets their wombs, especially they go for ovaries. So all these girls, after they're unconscious, their ovaries are stolen, their kidneys are stolen, and then they're dumped in the river. The guy who disposes them is called now this John guy. So when these guys were arrested and they were taken in by Senior Dave, and there's also a DCI guy who is now involved, after asking all these questions, they found out that the person who is at the top of this whole operation is the chancellor of this college, you guys. This chancellor's name is Margaret. She's the woman on top. She's the one who's running this operation. They lure these girls by any means. Some of them are lured by love, where they end up in the web of this Lake Macharia, and Lecturer Macharia does this on a daily basis, sometimes even 2-3 girls in a day. Some of them are lied to that there's Dubai jobs, and they willingly come. They're told come at such and such a place. They come, and when they get there, they're given it's candy that is laced with whatever drugs, lollipops, and the moment you put that in your mouth, a few minutes later, boom, you are unazirai. Some of them are being lied or are being lured by money, where these men tell them, oh, you come, just hang out with me for the night, I'll give you 50,000 Kenyan shillings. And if a girl is broke, or a girl who really, really needs money, especially these students, they really need money, because some of them just don't have the money to keep, to use for their own personal stuff and whatever. And this is very rampant in Nairobi, because Nairobi girls, man, these girls just out there risking their lives, going into Airbnbs with strangers. You hear somebody's a lecturer, oh my God. And with this lecturer also, he uses this thing where you sleep with him, he fixes your points or your marks, he fixes your exam, So he has all these ways of luring these girls, and these girls keep falling in this web. And once you start going down this rabbit hole, you go and end up dead. Apparently, when John was asked how many bodies they've disposed so far, John said 5, which means probably triple or 4 times that, because obviously he's not going to say the real number. And some of them are disposed somewhere else by other people. So when going through this whole situation, the doctor who is concerned also was found. Here's what happened. So Dave and his people started tracking that doctor. And the reason how they came to know about this doctor and even his phone number and everything is because they went through and sanitized the lecturer's phone and also sanitized the chancellor's phone, Margaret, and found out that the chancellor was talking to the doctor in real time, saying that their operation has been discovered, so he needs to be careful, blah, 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 all these things. So they started tracking the doctor. They went and tracked him to his house, and somehow he had left the house because these guys had not refreshed the tracker. He had gone somewhere else in some bushes. So they follow again after refreshing. This tracker takes them to these bushes, and in these bushes there's this shack of a house. It's really like just some dirty place. It's like a shack of a house, you guys. I think I'll attach that place on this video, you'll see it. And getting in there, sure enough, they found that doctor in the act. There was a woman laying down, and this doctor was on this woman. Actually, they had already raped her, which is the evidence of rape was totally there. They just raped her. It was two people in there. The doctor and somebody else was working with him. So he was going in with knives, chopping off this. And guys, let me tell you something. By the time Dave gets there with this DCI guy, with his team, the woman in question was already dead. Imagine. So this doctor was caught red-handed. So when they started, going through his phone as well, they find the doctor. Actually, there's two groups in his phone. One is the kidney group. Another one is the ovary group. So for them, women are more marketable because you get to get those ovaries, but you also get to get two kidneys from one body. Guys, women are being slaughtered for body parts, for organs. There's a huge organ trafficking operation going on in Kenya. It is so huge that I have gotten these organ stories from different people. This is just one of them. So stay here, keep watching my stories, because I'll tell you about the second, third, fourth, to the point that even little babies are being put out there and sold for organs, or they're being killed for organs. So it is such a rampant operation. It is a lot of people, you guys. And the saddest thing is that these people get away with this business because they do involve real doctors. Like, for example, this guy who's Dr. Kinyua is a real doctor. And also they do involve the police, because there's been cases where somebody is found doing some heinous crime like this. You take them to the police station, the next thing you know, they're out. Now, when John and Lynette were arrested, they were begging to be taken to the police station because they knew as soon as they get to the police station, that is their way out. So they do work with cops. And even there's cops who are mentioned. So guys, you can follow up these stories on Cinedev channel. And what I needed to say to ladies especially, be very careful out there. Don't be going to places alone. Even if you go with somebody, be careful what you put in your mouth, what you eat, because that's how they're catching women. They're lacing their food, they're spiking their drinks, they're, using all sorts of ways to get you. And next thing you know, you have disappeared. Nobody knows where you are. So with all these things that are going on, bodies being fished out of the quarry, and most of these bodies have been mutilated, obviously organs missing and everything. There's obviously so many other operations going on out there that involve these bodies. So be careful, ladies. Be careful, okay? And I wish we had a good system that works, that people like this can face justice. I mean, somebody would go out there, steal a tomato, and they would be beaten and burnt to death on the street. And here's somebody who's literally killing people every day for a living, and nothing happens to them. What kind of balance is this? So guys, be careful. Kenya is now, yes, Nikubaya. Nikubaya, kuwa very careful. Don't trust people like that. You might think somebody is a good person. Like this girl, she wasn't killed on the first day. Obviously, she went out with this guy for a minute before she was. Especially the one who was able to talk, because Canadian went to hospital, and for some reason, somehow she was able to come to and talked and said she had been seeing this lecturer for two months. Now you tell me, obviously she had already trusted this man. And this man ended up doing what he did to her. And the last time I checked, she was back to hospital because of some complications. I'm not sure how she's doing now, or even if she made it. But it was very, very bad what they did to her. And she's just one of the lucky ones if she's still alive. Yes. So guys, don't fall on these traps. Don't be a victim. Please be careful. Angalia kule unaenda. Fungua macho. Don't end up in a quarry or in some river somewhere because some random person tried, to steal your kidneys and sell them, because they're greedy people and don't want to work hard for their money. And so they go into organ trafficking. So guys, thank you. See you on the next one. Stay here. Please follow me for more stories about what you need to do. The Kenya that you don't know, and I'm here to show you. Thank you.